Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're diving into something really special, the official contributor onboarding guide for Birthday Bloom. Whether you're an experienced developer or someone who has literally never contributed to open source before in your entire life, this guide is going to walk you through exactly how you can make your mark on this incredible project, step by step. Think about the last birthday message you got. It was probably just a quick text, right? Maybe a generic WhatsApp forward or an Instagram story that just vanished in 24 hours. But what if you could help change that entirely? Birthday Bloom is this highly customizable, interactive platform built to transform those generic text messages into beautiful, personalized, cinematic digital birthday experiences. By contributing to this project, you're quite literally building the tools that help people connect on a much deeper, more emotional level. Okay, let's dive into this. The phrase open source can honestly sound kind of intimidating if you're brand new to it, but it really doesn't have to be. At its core, open source simply means teamwork. It means the underlying code for Birthday Bloom is publicly available for anyone to learn from, modify, improve, and share. It's a massive community effort. You absolutely don't need to be some coding genius to belong here. Your unique perspective, whatever your background, is incredibly valuable to making a project like this better for everyone. Here's the roadmap we'll be covering. Welcome to open source, exploring the repository, beyond writing code, the developer workflow, reviews and teamwork, and finally, a contributor checklist. All right, section 1, welcome to open source. Let's kick off your journey. The guide makes it super clear that Birthday Bloom isn't just about software. It's totally driven by emotion. The core vision from the creator, Narbraj Sarkar, is to help people celebrate birthdays in a more meaningful, creative, and memorable way. Technology should help people connect, right? So whether you're fixing a tiny typo in the documentation or building a massive new 3D animation feature, every single contribution helps achieve this core vision of spreading joy. Moving right along to section 2, exploring the repository. Let's check out the project's home base. Now, don't let all those files overwhelm you. It's actually laid out brilliantly. The contributing.md file is exactly where you'll find the rules of the road. The docs folder is packed with setup guides and the env guide, which explains how to customize the app without touching a line of code. And the src folder, well, that's where the actual React and Framer Motion code lives for all those smooth, cinematic animations. Before you jump in and start creating something brand new, the guide highly recommends following the read first principle. Check out the architecture docs. Take a second to search the existing GitHub issues just to see if someone else is already working on your idea. And most importantly, you really need to understand Birthday Bloom's N-first philosophy. This project is built so that users can customize names, colors, and photos just by changing environment variables, zero coding required. So always ask yourself, should this new thing I'm building be configurable via an environment variable? Section 3, Beyond Writing Code. And spoiler alert, absolutely zero coding is required for this part. If you're dealing with a little imposter syndrome right now, take a deep breath. You absolutely do not need to be a software engineer to make a massive impact here. There are just so many diverse ways to contribute. You can fix spelling mistakes, suggest UI improvements, or audit the app for accessibility so literally everyone can use it. You can help translate the setup guides into other languages, like Hindi or Bengali. Honestly, even just testing the app on your phone and sharing your feedback is a deeply valued contribution. Now, if you do happen to find a glitch, how you report it makes a world of difference. A poor bug report just says, hey, it's broken, which doesn't really give the maintainers anything to work with. But a great bug report, it uses the project's built-in GitHub issue templates. It is a crystal clear title, lists the exact steps to reproduce the error, notes whether you're using Chrome on a Mac or Safari on an iPhone, and includes screenshots. Doing this helps the team solve the problem so much faster. That exact same logic applies to suggesting new features. A poor suggestion just demands, add a video maker, kind of like a bad restaurant order. But a great feature suggestion describes the underlying problem, explains exactly why the feature would be useful in the real world, and maybe even includes a quick sketch or mockup. Remember, features in Birthday Bloom need to scale across all different relationship templates, from close friends to grandparents, so explaining your specific use case is incredibly helpful. All right, section 4, the developer workflow. Let's walk through this step-by-step journey. So the crucial point here is understanding this weird term, a fork. Imagine the main Birthday Bloom repository is an original master document kept safely behind glass. You can't just write on it. A fork is simply a button you click on GitHub that makes a complete, safe photocopy of that original document, placing it right into your own personal GitHub account. Inside your fork, you can experiment, break things, and build cool new features completely safely without ever affecting the original project. Once you've got your fork, you're going to want to create a branch. Think of a branch as an alternate timeline or a parallel universe inside your photocopy. You always want to create a new branch for a new feature. The guide points this out specifically for beginners. Never, ever do your work directly on your main branch. Creating a specific branch, like maybe Fix Photo Gallery Bug, keeps your work super organized and makes it so much easier for people to review later. Let's walk through the exact linear workflow. First up, you fork the repo on GitHub, then clone it down to your local computer. Next, you create your branch. Then you make your focused changes. After that, and this is super important, you must test your changes locally to ensure the app still runs perfectly. When you're happy with it, you write clear commit messages and push your branch back up to your fork on GitHub. The very last step is clicking Open a Pull Request. A pull request is literally just you asking the Birthday Bloom maintainers to merge your alternate timeline back into their main universe. While you're in there making those focused changes, just keep the project's coding standards in mind. Remember that environment first rule we talked about earlier? Also, the project relies on Tailwind utility classes for styling and ZooStamp for state management. You'll definitely want to check the styleguide.md file. Oh, and before you push your code, just make absolutely sure it builds without any TypeScript errors and that it still looks good on mobile devices. Almost there. Section 5, Reviews and Teamwork. This is all about collaborating together. Now, what's really interesting here is the guiding principle for reviews. Build features that scale across templates, relationships, and future versions. When maintainers look at your pull request, they're checking to ensure your code scales across the whole platform, not just your specific individual use case. Keep in mind, pull request and Birthday Bloom are manually reviewed. They're never just merged automatically. So if a maintainer requests a change to your code, please do not take it as a personal criticism. It is entirely a collaborative effort to uphold the high standards of the project. Empathy is just so key here. Remember, feedback is a gift. You should absolutely expect requested changes. That's literally just a normal part of building open source software. Always communicate respectfully, follow the project's code of conduct to the letter, and just be patient. The maintainers are often volunteering their own free time, exactly like you are. Teamwork, patience, and mutual respect are truly the heartbeat of the open source community. Finally, Section 6, the final contributor checklist. Let's get your action plan ready. Let's move to your immediate action plan. First, head over to GitHub and hit that star button on the repository. It's a really easy way to support the project. Then click Fork to make your photocopy. If you aren't quite ready to code yet, that's fine. Report a bug or suggest a cool idea using the issue templates. But if you are ready to code, dive into the Issues tab and look for the label that says Good First Issue. Just drop a comment on it to claim it and start building. You've got the map, you know the workflow, and you know that every single contribution, no matter how tiny, matters immensely. You are officially ready. So the only question left is, are you ready to submit your first pull request and help digital memories bloom worldwide? Jump right into the Birthday Bloom GitHub repository today and let's get building together.